Mic check, media feed check. Mic check, media feed check. Mic check, media feed check. Mic check, media feed check.
1, 2, 3, 4, show the parties up the north. Hey, ho, ho! Allison Redford's got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho! Allison Redford's got to go.
This fight continues, and as you see, it's not just a union fight, it's a fight all over the place about basic rights for working people, the hard working people who make this province run every single day. The people who are proud to serve Albertans from one corner of the province to the other. And you know what? I said it before, I'll say it again. Albertans respect that. They respect the work that you do for them. They respect you way more than this government respects you.
Good evening, sisters and brothers from all of Alberta. We need to make sure that we continue this fight. It is not just an AUPE fight. They happen to be in the crosshairs at this moment with Bill 46. As I said last week, you know that next week it's going to be UNA because they're at the bargaining table and they got an equally crappy offer at the table. My members, the 25,000 people we represent, we're going to we're going to be starting shortly, and you know that Bill 47 will have our name on it. And therefore that is all of our fight. And of course, they're not satisfied with simply taking away our right to strike and our right to collective bargaining. They have to bring in the nuclear bomb of Bill 45, which is designed to basically cripple all of us financially with unconscionable fines. Should anybody even think about the idea of striking or working to rule? Shame! So I'm not going to say I bring greetings on behalf of 25,000 because we are part of this fight. But I do bring greetings on behalf of our national president, James Clancy, and we'll leave you with the words that he so often employs and that we at the National Union and at Health Sciences employ. Labor rights are human rights. These are our human rights, and we have to defend them. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. So I'd like to turn it over to our good friend here, Pete. I believe he used to be a bus driver, isn't that right?
That's right, I did.
Proud member of ATU, correct?
569, been a member for nearly 30 years.
Right on. So Brother Brian knows all about union struggles, and one day, after driving a bus, maybe he'll be driving the seat of this big bus here one day, right, brother? Brian Mason, leader of the NDP.
Thanks, guys. Well, you know, maybe I will drive it, but we got to pull it out of the ditch first. I've got my caucus with me. I've got Rachel Notley here. And David Agan. And Darren Billis is in the legislature right now fighting for your rights. So I want to tell you, sisters and brothers, I've never seen a piece of legislation this bad. A piece of legislation that tramples on more rights and hurts more people than these two bills, Bill 45 and 46. You know, we won a little small victory today when the Speaker ruled in our favor because the government printed a brochure saying that they had frozen your wages before the decision was even made. So he found the government in contempt of the legislature. And that's appropriate because this government holds the people of Alberta in contempt. Why else would they promise the moon at election time and then after the election say we were elected to hold the line on spending? They don't tell the truth. Their first recourse is to lie. Some people lie when they're trapped, when there's no way out. These guys lie before anything else. It's clear. it's clear that in a booming economy with the highest inflation in the country, we do not need to have our wages frozen, because we will reduce the standard of living. This government cut the corporate income tax rate from 16 to 10%. They imposed a flat tax that gave tens of thousands of dollars in tax cuts to the very richest Albertans. Then they cut your programs, and now they want to freeze your wages. This government is quite simply transferring wealth from the working people of this province to the wealthy in this province, and that has to stop. Sisters and brothers, I know that when the election comes along in 2 years, you're going to remember this day. And you're going to remember who it was that stood right on the front line with you to make sure that working people get a fair deal in this province. And that's my colleagues and me with the NDP. And I want to thank Guy for the work that he's done, and all of the union leaders, and all of you for braving the cold tonight to stand up and give a really hot message to this government. Thank you very much, sisters and brothers.
These bills, they say they only affect public sector unions, but that's not true, because if they can get away with this, they'll also affect private sector unions. I'm really proud to see UFCW here, the United Food and Commercial Workers, and we've also got some Boilermakers out there. And we probably have some other industrials there too, so thanks all for coming. But I do want to let you know also today that the provincial organization of the firefighters came out in support of us too, opposing these bills. When you got the firefighters on your side, you know you're on the right track as well. So, and I'd like to turn it over next to Brother Lou Arbor, who's going to speak on behalf of the Canadian Union of Public Employees.
Can I hear those pots and pans? Can I hear some noise? Thank you, friends. I'm here speaking because our President, Marley Roberts, is feeling a little under the weather. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm feeling a little sick myself, but I'm a hell of a lot more sick of this government. We are here today to defend our freedom and nothing less. It is not just a simple bargaining matter, although that's a perfectly good reason to demonstrate. But this is about our freedom. We're here to defend the freedom to bargain our wages and our working conditions, and we're here to defend our freedom of speech. These are freedoms that are recognized by our charter, they are freedoms that are recognized by the United Nations, but they are freedoms that unfortunately are not recognized by Alison Redford. Alison Redford promised a lot better than this.
Oh, yeah!
I watched the last election very closely, and I don't recall her ever promising or putting it in her election platform that she was going to be picking on and bullying public sector workers. She convinced a lot of working Albertans to vote for her. A lot of working people voted for Alison Redford, and they ended up getting Danielle Smith and the Wild Rose. I don't understand it. This is a betrayal of the working people of Alberta. And I'm here today on behalf of CUPE and our 630,000 members across Canada, and I'm here to tell you and to tell the Premier that we will stand beside all public sector workers to protect our interests. We will stand beside HSAA, we will stand beside the nurses, and yes, we will stand beside AUPE and fight for what is right. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
So this is the third night that we've had a rally. The weather has gotten worse, the temperatures have dropped, but the crowds keep getting bigger because what's going on behind those doors and under that dome is completely unconscionable. You know, this morning, I did a search. I searched the word bully, and I looked for the definition of bully, and what it said is that a bully is a person who uses their position of power or authority to impose their will Sisters, the labor movement is standing up, but it's not just us. I just got off the phone with the editorial director of the Calgary Herald, who is usually no friend of labor, but she said she was appalled. I had a conversation with the Wild Rose Alliance, and they said they were appalled. I've had conversations with people across this country of all political stripes, from one end of the country to another, and they're all appalled. This is not something that should be happening in a democracy like Canada. So the question is, what do Albertans, what do citizens have to do when confronted with a noxious piece of legislation like Bill 45 or Bill 46? First of all, we need to stand up and protect democracy, because especially with Bill 45, they're not just attacking public sector workers, they're actually attacking the ability of all Albertans to speak their minds. Because this is not a bill about public sector workers, about wages and benefits. This is a bill about oppressing dissent, okay? About shutting us up and forcing us to stand down when we want to stand up. So the first thing that we need to do is call this for what this is. It's a bully bill. The second thing that we need to do, the second thing that all of us, all Albertans, need to do is to reassess Alison Redford. Because this is a politician. This is a leader who portrayed herself as a return to progressive conservatives with an emphasis on progressive. We know the truth now. And finally, brothers and sisters, the third thing that we in this crowd and all of our supporters across the province have to do is to come to the support of much maligned public sector workers. Because make no mistake, this is a bill that not only picks the pockets of public sector workers, but treats them with fundamental disrespect. Just 6 months ago, this is a government that wrapped their arms around public sector workers, thanked them for all the wonderful work they did to help us recover from the floods in southern Alberta. They said public sector workers were heroes. Now they say that public sector workers can't be trusted. So we have to send a message to this government that we know who can't be trusted, and it's the people behind that door and under that dome who are taking away our democratic rights and freedoms. And as Albertans, we won't stand for it. Just let me wrap up by saying this. They may be able to use their legislative majority to thwart the will of the majority of Albertans. They may be able to misuse that majority to undermine our democratic rights. But we will remember and we will protest. We will meet them in the courtrooms to challenge this unconstitutional piece of legislation. And we will meet them at the ballot box to make sure that a government that doesn't learn and doesn't treat its people with respect will pay the ultimate price for a government that doesn't deserve to govern. So but the first step is tonight. As they debate these two noxious pieces of legislation, we have to be there in numbers. So I know you're here today, tonight, but we need you in there in about an hour and a half. So if you have time on your schedules, please join us in the galleries, because remember, this is your house. No one can keep you out. And when bad things are happening under that dome, we have to make sure that the public, people like you, are there to watch it, witness it, and remember it. So please join us. Thank you.